Hey guys, welcome back. So here we are at season 2. And for this season, we really wanted to focus on inspirational stories that will really resonate with all of you.
And because it's right before Rosh Hashanah, we decided to bring Meirav, the owner of Queen Esther, here in Los Angeles, and she's going to talk about her journey as a Baal Teshuva. So get ready to be inspired and listen up. Welcome to the Mommy Life Squad podcast, where we talk about
Everything women want to hear about,
which may get controversial,
but definitely inspirational, so stay tuned.
Hey everyone, we have Meirav here with us today, and we're so excited to share her story on Teshuva. It's perfect timing right before Rosh Hashanah.
That's right. Meirav is actually a parent at our school. She's super inspiring. I feel like, let's talk about when we met.
Can
Meirav.
I just say, when you look at Meirav, you will never, ever think that she had a story behind her.
Yeah, crazy. I didn't believe it. Like Tikva told me, but I didn't believe it until I asked Meirav for myself. And wow, does she have a story. So let's get right into it. So Meirav, tell us a little bit about your background, like how you grew up, like where you were. I think you didn't
And
grow
where
up
you're
in
from.
Yerushalayim, right? Where you're from?
No, I'm Israeli and I live in Ashdod, south, where is the beach.
Your family's still there.
My family's still there. I came here when I got married, so I don't have any family or friends here.
Wow.
Now I have after 6 years, but the beginning I didn't have.
What was your community like?
So in Israel it's different. There is no so much community there. But all my friends and family, we wasn't religious.
And that's why, by the way, there's no community, because if you're not religious, you don't really have, I just realized that. Like if you're Chiloni, you're on your own more or less. They don't really have a community.
More family or like good friends, but there is no community.
Right.
Because I feel like
in
it's
shul
so
is
crazy
like-
how
Yeah.
shul
Yeah.
builds community and Shabbat.
Yeah.
Shabbat gives a huge sense of community
Yeah.
because you have to, there's meals and there's...
Right. It's like a family thing. It's so, wow, that's so interesting. How come we didn't realize that before? I didn't think about that before, but that's
When I came here, everyone like, were you praying? Where you go to shul? Whereas like I was thinking, why it's a big deal where I'm going to shul? Like in Israel, it's not like okay, going to do like mincha tefillah and coming home. Like nothing. There is nothing happening in the shul.
Yeah.
Now depends if it's a shul that there is classes, but more for men, not like community and like families coming on Shabbat. There is no
happens
such
to
a
be
thing.
in LA. I feel like it's more the school that's the community. You don't see like the shuls. There's so many shuls here in LA.
Yeah.
So it's just like I feel like our school is also like a part of the community, like a community. So you said you grew up in which part?
Ashdod. And like, did you have like any kashrut in your home, anything like that?
So we grew up very traditional, I would say. My father, we never was strict about any halacha, except like not driving on Shabbat or fire on Shabbat. But the rest of the thing, we did like everything. I was doing my nails. I was doing.
You mean like
makeup.
direct fire? Because like turning on the light is technically fire.
Yeah, I mean just lighting, playing with the light on Shabbat. We didn't touch.
You didn't touch the light.
We didn't touch the light, and we didn't driving or cooking. I mean there is plata and
Right.
But the rest we did like everything. Everything. I didn't know a lot of the things that, of course, we're doing now. If it's not like schita or not to paint, I was doing nails, I was doing eyebrows, I was doing like everything.
Everything on
everything
Shabbat.
like.
Like what was your typical Shabbat? What would you do?
We didn't do much. We just like
Stayed around the house.
Yeah, like we 5 sisters and brothers. 4 sisters and 1 brother. So we were playing books. How do you call it? Like board games.
So you still felt like it was Shabbat. You knew that it was a different day of the week. It wasn't like...
Yes, until yes, we know it's different, but not spirituality. You know what I mean?
You didn't have the spiritual touch. Yeah.
Like Shabbat and like.
But I
I could sleep all the Shabbat. I could go to the beach on Shabbat.
Right. Ashdod has a nice beach
Yeah.
there too.
And it was close to my house, so
Wow.
I was used to be there all the Shabbat, like all from the morning until
Till night.
Wow.
at the
Until
beach.
night.
So you didn't have a formal sit-down dinner?
Only on Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Okay.
But usually I went to the beach on Friday, and then when you come back, you're like so tired after the beach. So I was sleeping even after.
Oh.
So my father needed to like grab me, like get up and come to the table.
So no, like also in terms of sneas, like
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, and by the way, I just have to say here, I hope this doesn't embarrass you. We can edit this out, but like, I didn't believe it because if you look at Meirav today, like she's a tzaddiket and she covers her hair with she actually sells, shout out, because I think it's called Queen Esther. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Queen Esther. She sells beautiful headscarves in LA. Beautiful, beautiful. I bought a bunch. And you would never in a million years guess that you had a history or a battle with snoot because you look so refined, like a bat melech right now. So and I didn't believe it till she showed me on her phone. I was like, no way. Anyway, so yeah, go on.
So we grew up very traditional, and then in a certain point of I think 16, I was in school with boys and girls. We were in separate class, but on races we were together.
We kind of touched on this. I'm just curious with your experience. We had someone else, Shaili, right, Ronan? She told us that the Chiloni schools in Israel, like even though it's Israel and you expect them to talk about Judaism but she's like, we didn't even know the basic rules of kashrut in school. Like they didn't teach that.
They're not teaching alachot, anything. I was in like it was dati.
Your school was dati?
But not. It was very torani. It's like both. It was both, but except of like to get in the morning and do tefillah, very easy and light. We never spoke about any halachot. There is no class. There is no chizuk for the girls or the boys.
Your teachers were religious, like dati, or like your families?
Like very light,
Traditional.
very traditional. There wasn't like covering their hair.
So you weren't talking about Shabbat in school?
No.
Like they didn't have Shabbat party growing up.
No, nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. I don't remember that.
It's so
And
removed.
then talk about like Rosh
I
Hashanah.
didn't even do like Netilat Yadayim. That it's the first thing that you.
I don't know why this shocks me so much. It's
Yeah.
like this is
Why did
Yeah,
they
yeah.
teach like Rosh
First thing.
Hashanah Yom Kippur when that came around? They didn't talk about it in school. I find that so hard
and this
to
is like
believe.
a Jewish state. I'm like so shocked by
You
it.
didn't hear about
not
Rosh
something
Hashanah?
that's no.
Wow, that is very shocking.
Yeah.
Like when Rosh Hashanah came, they didn't prep you about anything
Shofar.
about
Maybe,
sleep.
Apple
but
honey.
it wasn't something
The
that
apple bunny.
Yeah.
that we focus on, or it was very. They were more on chol limudim.
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
more
Yeah.
regular studies.
Yeah.
We usually in Israel, because there's the Chagim and the beginning of the year, they usually until after Sukkot, you don't really study, right? It's like very easy to chill, like know each other. It's not like really homework. We're not really learning. So we didn't learn nothing. And then when I was 16, I was in the school with the boys. And then there it starts that I become less and less even at home.
Less
Like,
observant.
Less observing, less. I didn't keep Shabbat at all. I remember the first day that I stopped keeping Shabbat. In the beginning, you think it's gonna happen to you something, you know, like wow, that's bad. I did something bad, or no, I think I saw my cousin. She started to light lights in the room, and I was like, "What you doing? What you doing?" And then it just, as much as you're doing it,
It
Just
gets
get
worse
used
and
to
worse.
it become to a tale. Like it's okay, you know.
Heter,
It's
yeah.
not.
Wow.
And then from 16 until 23, a little bit, before I came, like the day that I become religious, I was Chiloni like full time.
And even though your parents were not necessarily religious, how did they accept that?
I didn't do stuff in the house on Shabbat. I mean, they knew that I'm driving, but I never showed them. I never was walking
To
in the
respect
phone.
them.
Yeah. My father was like, he wasn't so religious, but I felt like It's not okay, you know. I didn't
He
wanna
never
hurt
drove
him.
on Shabbat.
They also chazar b'tshuva. They never. They
Yeah.
also, when we were little, they become religious.
But religious to a certain point.
Yes, there's
And
certain
but they
points.
never took
No.
on driving on Shabbat.
No.
That was never a thing. So once you
No.
started driving, that was very
driving,
hard.
phones. We never talk about it, but we also he knows that we
Doing it.
Yeah.
So then what made the switch? Like what made you realize that I want to be more religious? Like when you saw religious people in the street when you were younger, what did you think?
Well,
maybe?
actually, yeah, to interject, the next thing I want to ask is how did you view those people who were more religious than you? Did you see like ihsa, like, oh my gosh,
no, I was trying to run away from it. Like I was trying not to be around it because
but it didn't bother
I
you.
didn't want to face with the truth.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to go to listen to classes. I didn't want to be around it because I knew inside that this is the truth. And when you know it, you need to do action. You know, need to change yourself.
Yeah.
Like deep down, you knew
She
it.
avoided it.
Yeah.
Right.
We avoided it like as far as I could.
Because did you think it wasn't like modern and cool? Because I've heard that before. Like being religious is just not modern. It's an old and
Maybe you looked down at it. Yeah. Did you look down at it or
No, I don't think so.
no?
Also, I wasn't around those people.
religious people.
All my friends, my family was Chilonim. Like
Okay.
maybe they were traditional keeping Shabbat, but it wasn't a problem to go like not sanua or to do all these things. I never have friends that they become religious. Actually, I think I'm the first one. I never have like an environment that someone become religious or.
So take us to the turning point for you. When was that turning point that it like a light bulb switched in your head and you said, I can't do this anymore. I really want to.
So I was very, very non-religious, like parties, everything. And then I remember I was sitting on Shabbat in my phone, in my room. And I was just scrolling, like not doing something special. And I was thinking to myself, why I'm doing this? Like why I don't have a fear or why I'm not understanding that this is not okay. Like why I feel like it's okay for me to do it.
Did you see something on the screen that triggered you, or
No.
it just
I feel like I'm not doing anything special, so why I'm not keeping Shabbat?
Can I ask you a question? At that moment, did you feel like anything lacking in your life? Like sometimes you hear people that made the switch, they felt like kind of empty. Did you feel that at that moment or not really?
Empty for sure, you feel. I was looking so much to fill myself with parties, with boyfriends, with
And you couldn't fill
you constantly like don't want to feel
It's a void.
I was run away from it. My sister became religious when 2 years before me, and she never trying to push me to do something or like laughing at me that I was like, oh no, that's not Tanua, don't wear this. She was very cool. And then my brother became religious. My brother, he was still living in our house, and he would start to like give comment on the way I was dressing.
Wow.
So I become more extreme to do dafka.
The opposite.
The opposite.
To
You wanted to go more.
Dafka, I'm gonna
Because
dress
you're
like
telling
that.
me I'm gonna do it more.
Yeah, it was like it was always like, oh, you forget your napkin because I wasn't wearing clothes. Yeah, it's not considered clothing. It's like napkins.
Oh, he calls it
She's
napkin.
like, oh, you forget your napkin. That's her clothes. All kind of comments like laughing
and you made it
like-
worse. That made it worse for you.
it was worse.
Oh my gosh.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was become even more
Wow.
extreme.
And this is after your
And
brother and
dafka-
sister became religious.
Yeah, and I usually when I was younger, I was dressing like regular, and after I was going to the stairs, I was changing. I was changing clothes, so my father's not gonna see me like too short or too much.
Oh, you would like dress
I didn't.
well.
Yeah, like very short. Like I didn't want him to see me like that.
Like when you would
But
leave, you would just
after-
change, like take
yeah.
off your sweater.
Exactly. So after my brother become very strong and extreme, it was very extreme, like very extreme. I was doing like dafka. I was walking like that in the house.
Wow.
Everything like
How long did this last?
that was a year, I think. And then
You're on your phone and you have
and
this
then I'm on
turning
my phone and I was scary from the feeling that I'm not scary.
You were scared of the feeling that
You weren't
even
scared,
you
that
weren't
you
even
didn't care.
nervous. You didn't care. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care that I'm like with
Mechal
my phone
Shabbat,
on,
yeah.
on
Wow.
Shabbat, and I'm not even doing something important.
Right.
You just scrolling.
It's not like you're working or anything.
Yeah, I was just
But
scrolling
also,
and
to put it into perspective, you already had two siblings who turned around and did Teshuva, so you're living with them, and you see that they have done something to themselves. Your parents must have done something right that all three of you guys became extremely... Are they still... Everyone's
it was
still...
hard to my mom.
Wow.
Because we never told her what to do in our house, and now my brother and my sister like, you want us to eat with you, you want us to live here, like you need to change.
Wow.
If it's like to do Tvilat Kelim, we never do Tvilat Kelim.
Oh my
and
gosh.
no, I know here people, even they're not religious,
They do
that.
it.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's something like
Basic.
oh yeah, it's basic.
Yeah.
It wasn't basic at all.
Wow.
All my house, like we never do Tvilat Kelim. So my brother,
He took...
he took all everything.
Wow.
And
And
see
also
my mom
kosher,
like
like
cleaning
meat,
the house
yeah.
on Shabbat, like with water, and like washing the floor. And he's
Wow.
all the time telling her like, stop, don't do that. Hot water, all
Wow.
everything is
Wow.
trying to.
Listen, like honestly, from like a mom's perspective, like
It's
when your kids start doing that to you, and it's like, and it's extreme
overwhelming.
mentality. It's also for your mother probably was also very like I've been doing this for years.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, and
I
she's
know.
the old, like I'm not gonna change.
Yeah.
That's okay the way I am.
And even just for my son's in Calabasas now, when he comes home, he's like, Ima, actually, I'm like, no, don't tell me. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 7 years. I know the halacha. He's like, but actually, I'm like, oh. It's like, because we have our system. We have everything in place. I'm happy to learn. It's just, it's so hard.
Also from your kid, it's like it's from
Yeah.
your child. If like a
yeah.
Rebbitzin comes and tells you, it's very different than your child coming. and
Yeah.
telling you.
exactly.
I mean, he's, It's very cute, though. It's very nice. It's,
Yeah, but it's nice when it's a little boy. But it's like 31 boy tell me what to do. It's not your house, you know.
Yeah.
And the ego came.
Yeah.
So my mom, it was very hard for her. Very, very hard for her.
But she did all those changes for them.
Yeah, I mean, she told them, you wanna do Tvilat Kelim, you take everything into that.
Wow.
Like, I'm not gonna take the whole house, like not to do Tvilat Kelim.
Take everything.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Now,
he did
now
it,
she
huh?
knows already.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's new things, she told my sister, come take that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
before that, no.
Okay, so then when you're on your phone,
And then I just leave the phone and I continue the Shabbat like regular, my sisters.
so you put your phone down
I
at
really-
that moment.
Yeah,
put your phone
I
down.
put the phone down. I don't remember if I go back to this again. And then I leave it away. Like, I continue, like, not to be like Lechayot Shabbat. And then one night, I remember it was on March, right before Pesach, I had a dream that I didn't tell that to people, actually, the dream. But I'm gonna tell here.
Oh wow, I'm honored. I'm so excited.
In the dream, I was with my sister in my house, my mother's house, and I felt like it was earthquake, and then all the house, it was a building. We live in a building, and all the building becoming like falling, and I took my sister and we start to run. And we're running, and everything around us, like a big tsunami, a lot of water coming, washing everything. And it was like people screaming, and I see people dying in the street.
Oh, wow.
And it was chaos, really. Like, we didn't understand like what's going on, and we running, and I'm running with her, not stop running. And then I felt like the water is like washing all of us, and we don't have anywhere where to run, and we kind of like dying in the dream. And I feel like I'm going to the sky, and there is like a box with 2 levels, and in every level there is like the right side and the left side. And in the right side, I feel like I wanted to go to the right side, so for the first level, I go with my sister to the right side. And I felt so good. I had like best feeling in the world that I was like...
This is your religious sister.
My religious sister.
Yeah.
I felt so good that I could go to like the right side. And then in the next level, she went to the right side and I went to the left side. And I felt so bad, like real feeling in the dream. It's something that I never felt. I felt so bad and scared. And I really want to wake up from that dream, but I couldn't. And then in certain point, I felt like the dream becoming back to himself, like going backwards. And I see myself again in the house, and I know in my head that the house is gonna fall, everything is gonna come back again, and I'm in the same situation, and I know what's gonna happen. But in that moment, I started to pray. I wanted so badly to go to the right side with my sister, and I started to pray. And I never prayed.
I was going to say, did you ever pray before?
Never.
Wow. You never spoke to Hashem?
Never.
Wow.
And I was just trying to pray. I don't even know what I'm saying. We're running, and I'm praying while we are running.
Wow.
What I didn't do before.
Praying to be on the right side and the good side.
Yeah, I wanted to be on the right side.
Wow.
And I remember we were running, and I'm praying, I'm going to be there. I don't know what I was saying. And then something grabbed us like to the right side, and we just started walking in like a road that really weird, but not everyone could go there. And I still see people like running from the water, but I feel like okay and relief. I woke up from that dream, and all I wanted to do is pray. I wanted to pray. I have like big Elul Teshuva.
Oh my gosh, I have chills everywhere.
I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go to work. I just want to grab Tehillim or a book and just pray. I told that to my sister, and I was crying when I telling her. It was like really feeling like what is happening. I never have the dream that goes with you all day.
Wow.
And a week.
Felt so real.
It feels so real.
That's so creepy. Oh my gosh.
And my husband, I told that to my sister and my brother, and I spoke with one Rav and the Rabbanit of my sister.
You didn't have your own rabbi.
No, it's not rabbi. No rabbis. Like, what is that dream? And why I was dreaming that I want to go to the right side and I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like chill, don't take it serious. And I couldn't leave that feeling. I couldn't leave that feeling. And I took this Elul Teshuva and I said, I'm gonna make a change. I couldn't wear anymore the clothing that I was wearing.
So on the spot, you got rid of everything in your clothing?
On 2 weeks,
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even throw my clothing. I was burning them.
Wow.
Oh my god.
How did you burn this? How did you burn it?
It was before Pesach, so we did like a safat chametz. My sister started took me on the first week. She started taking me to the midrasha. She does a midrasha, like external, like she's going every
seminary?
night. Yeah, but only at night.
Okay.
Like classes. And I started to go with her. First time for 2 years that she's there, I never was there. I never go with her to any classes. And there was there like amazing Rabbanit, and I started to really connect it with her. And I loved the environment and the friends that were there, and I felt like Manishama, it's like I found my place. I burned all the clothing. I still have the big like feeling of this dream for 3 months.
Wow.
3 months I felt Hashem, like right now that they're saying Amelech Basadeh, I felt Hashem is holding my hand and I was walking with him. For 3 months, I could do anything. I felt that I could be the biggest Rabbanit in 2 months.
Wow.
I took everything upon myself.
Wow.
That's also a big mistake and problem for Chazal B'Tshuva.
Yeah, they do fast.
That's why the reason they're doing fast, because they have that light.
Yeah.
And with that light, you feel that you can do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And then after 3 months, the light kind of like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Go
say.
down.
Usually for Choser B'Tshuva, they do everything so fast, but then it kind of like, they're like, whoa, what did I just
Because
do?
after this light goes,
Yeah.
there is people that can
Stay.
be years,
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
I have that 3 months. And I was.
Was it like one day you just woke up and the light was gone?
It was exactly like that.
Oh my gosh.
And remember I sitting in my room, I was like, what did you do to yourself? Like, why would you do that? why would you, how can I go back now? I can't go back now. I throw all my clothing. I changed my clothes. It was also hard to find skirts. I was weeks with the same skirt because I was so passionate and I was wants to like, you need also a lot of money to buy new clothing, like a
But
full
also something
wardrobe.
that you told me before, that you really like style.
Yes.
So you like things to look nice and
You
and
appreciate fashion.
Yeah. And it was hard to change, like, what's
the
kind
new
of style
religious
I'm gonna have
style.
now,
Yeah, it's very different.
It's very different. I remember it was really like I took skirts for my friends, for my sister.
But how did you
Um,
reconcile this feeling you had with regret? How did you get through it?
I really want to go back. I was also in college. I was like studies like regular um, degree, and I was like, that's not fit. That's what I did. I felt very regret. But
What was the reaction of your friends and family when you were showing up in skirts?
my friends was in shock.
The same skirt.
Every time.
I was there. I didn't go out with them a lot with Chilonim, with not religious, because I was so like with them.
Did that
with
mean
the
you
new-
got,
with
you
the new
got rid of all your clothing and your friends?
and my friends?
Wow, that's hard.
They couldn't understand like where it disappeared. And when I saw them, we were usually like going out like
To the
out
beach
to the
and-
beach.
yeah.
Like, where are you? I was the one that pushing them to go to the party. I was the one that all the time like calling them, let's go out, let's go out, let's go to the beach, let's go, let's go, let's
Wow.
go. If I'm not in 11, 12 o'clock in the beach on Friday or Shabbat, there I was mad. I was like, why are you not answering? Why are we not going? Sometimes I go by myself.
Wow.
I was all the time in the beach.
Wow.
And they didn't understand where I disappeared. And when they saw me, they was like, look at me, like, are you crazy? And because I was so impassioned for 3 months, I was talking like real Chazal B'Teshuvah, like, you have no idea how it is, you need to keep Shabbat. I was like giving them lectures.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now how did you? I'm curious. Like you had that down, and now you're still religious. It's not like you went back. So what kept you going throughout the process? Like, did you wake back up? Did you get the light
so
again? What happened?
I started to be less and less and less.
Less religious?
Less religious. My skirt was more like tight. I was wearing. I still like wearing like
Short sleeves.
Short
So
sleeves.
you're very confused. You went from one extreme and then you realized it was
and
too
then I become kind of in the middle. I found the balance.
Like
But
Shabbat still? Or?
yeah. Usually, if Chazon B'Teshuvah, they don't have the good base, like environment, rabbanim, friends that are religious, they can go back and even worse. Usually, it's a lot of what happened. But Baruch Hashem, my sister was religious, and I have rabbaniot and the place to help me to go balance. So I went a little bit less. I wasn't keep Shomer Negia full,
Right.
like the beginning.
Like, did you have a
the
boyfriend
3
at the time?
months. No.
Okay.
But I didn't have a boyfriend, but when I was trying to go out, like with friends, I didn't keep a
Shomer Negia.
Shomer Negia. And then it was like that for a full year. I was 25, and then I met my husband.
So when you were still like this,
Like, yeah, in the middle, like trying to find myself.
So
find
where
a
was your
way,
husband at this
trying-
point?
was
I didn't
Haredi.
even learn. Yeah, it was Haredi.
He was Haredi.
Yeah.
He was
like
fully.
full-fledged
full.
Haredi.
Why did he consider you?
Because I was look like, it's probably
played
enough
the-
for him. I think he asked me, yes, she will cover her hair. And I said yes, and it was enough for him.
Wow. Because her husband's very religious. Your husband's very, very, like,
It wasn't so much like today.
now
He
he's
was
more.
lost.
We become more together.
Okay,
We
okay.
become more together. It
Okay.
wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But I think when I was dating with him,
Wait
I
a
was
minute, we never
showing
spoke
that
about-
I was more.
Did you date him in Israel or here? So what happened in between?
So his mother, she knows someone in my family, my cousin dad,
Okay.
and I wasn't religious all the years, and she was looking a girl for him. When my cousin in my age he saw that I become religious, he told to my dad cousin, they will work together, and he told her, oh, Meirav, she become religious. Maybe it's like it can
shidduch.
fit. Yeah. They sent me a picture of him, and I said no.
Because
Big no.
He looked too dirty for you.
It looked old and dirty. The picture, I'm telling you, the picture is like extreme from what he looks
Because your
in
husband
the
still
real
looks young.
life.
Yeah.
I've seen your husband.
Yeah,
He's
but
very
it's
young.
not. He can't. I would say that he can take photo like
Photogenic.
Yeah.
Definitely not. And for 2 weeks, they were sitting in my
Ear, yeah.
like go out with him, and I was like, no, it's like ma akesher, me and M, it's like America, what me and you say.
So he was living
like,
in America,
what?
you were in
Ashdod?
Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like they told me
Wow.
there is like a man in like Los Angeles. Me in Los Angeles? Ma
Yeah.
akesher.
Yeah.
I was really against. I said I'm not gonna leave Ashdod. I'm not gonna leave my house. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna go. No way. No way. Just talk to him. Just talk to him. What do you care? Just talk to him. Okay. One call and a few texts, like chat and like in the WhatsApp, and he said, "Okay, I'm coming
Wow.
To Israel.
to Israel."
To date you.
He came, and after 2 weeks, I told him, or we getting married, or just go.
Wow.
Don't waste my time.
Oh, you're very extreme.
We're getting married after 2 weeks.
2 weeks. It was like 8 dates,
Wow.
but it was a long date.
So you really liked him at the start.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I mean, I wasn't sure, but I saw he has a good heart and good midot. And I said, that's what I need. Like, I still didn't know what I want, like religiously, like spirituality, because I also was in the middle. But he also, I felt like he was in the
Wait,
middle.
so when
It's
you
a
went
good
out
match.
with him,
It was a good match.
you said you were still wearing short sleeves. So when you went out with him, were you
I
wearing short
I
sleeves?
didn't want shirt.
Okay.
It's also like was the winter a little bit. I was also it didn't. No, I stopped to wear short sleeves when we got married.
Okay.
When we got married, my rabbanit saw me in a wedding. Before I got married, in a wedding in China, in mikveh of my friend, and she saw me with the short sleeves. She's like, she didn't even know that I'm wearing short sleeves. Because all the time that she saw me, it was in a class, and I was like, it was winter. I was wearing like the button shirt. I was always look like classy, you know. I never was. It's only in when I was go to school or something. And she's like, Meirav, it's not fits to you.
Yeah, wow.
Like I thought you were like okay, I'm besed.
That just shows how powerful. I just want to highlight this. Like, shows how beautiful it is to have a kesher with a rebbitzin who could talk to you that way and give you musar. You took it so nicely, and I feel like the only reason why is because you had this connection with her that you said it doesn't fit you, it doesn't suit you. That's such a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah,
I
she
love
told
that.
me like I felt like I'm more than that. You know?
So beautiful. Yeah.
She really gave me one sentence.
Yeah.
She didn't need to do much.
Yeah.
Or give me some class about it. I didn't even know that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And she was
almost like you just
like
disappointed
more
her.
than that. Yeah, they're like more than this.
Wow.
And Baruch Hashem, and it's funny, she told me that in the mikveh, and then the same night I chose a dress for my wedding friend the next day that it was short sleeve. And then it's like, wait, are you telling me this right now? I just have a dress for tomorrow, it's a short sleeve, what's supposed to do now? And I went the same night, I told the girl that I was renting the dress from her, listen, I can't take this dress, I need a different dress.
Wow.
I was going the same night.
Wow, to her.
Like in 11 o'clock.
Wow.
And I chose different dress for the next morning.
Wow.
For the wedding of my friend.
Unbelievable.
Baruch Hashem.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt like that's the truth. I'm gonna go with it. You know, I was never, when I become religious, I never said, this I'm not gonna be. This I'm not gonna do. That's I'm never gonna wear black socks. I'm never gonna do. I never said. I never do something.
Yeah. But now looking back, you've been religious for many years. Is there anything that stands out to you that is really hard for you that to still do after all these years? Because again, you became religious in your 20s. So I'm curious to know if there's anything that you look back and you're like, oh, that was hard to take on. Not that you regret it, because I feel like you're at a whole different place in life, but something that's still hard for you today.
I would say more socialized. It was hard for me not to go certain places or be with certain people. Now I understand why, of course. I learned and I'm more mature, but I think this is the one that really hard for me. I grew up from the clothing thing. By the time I felt I love it more and more,
Right.
especially when you know how to combine clothing and to stylish. I love it more.
But you still dream of your beach days.
I'm not dreaming
In your
but,
sneeze
but
clothing.
it was really I love to be tanning.
Tanning? Oh. They're all
Listen, I'm from the beach. I live
available.
next to the beach.
Yeah.
I live next to the
They
beach.
need a kosher beach here. I keep saying that. I'm like, we need a
Oh yeah,
kosher
and
beach.
there is a kosher beach, so that's for sure. I miss Israel. Probably.
Right. Wow.
That's for sure. I miss Israel.
Any stories that stand out to you over the years that like maybe had an impact on you or in your journey?
I would say my sister. She is my inspiration. She's been throughout life with the religious, and she taught me how to be religious, the true religious. Until now, she is my inspiration, and I think everyone need to have at least rabbanit or someone to look forward to.
Right, like a role model.
A role model, but a good role model. Like to see the how we need to be and supposed to be, and never say I'm not gonna be like that. I think my sister, she's married to avrech. She's learning Torah all the time.
Wow.
And I know if I wouldn't get married 1 year, like it's still it's still not much to be religious 1 year. So I know if I'm not gonna marry that time, for sure maybe I will be growing and more and
Wow.
maybe once more.
Do you have like a message for all of us? Because now we're in Elul, and I feel like the reason why we wanted like someone choser b'tshuva for this is like this is the perfect time. This is the time to do teshuva. Rosh Hashanah is right around the corner. Maybe like a message to anyone listening.
That when you feel this Elul tshuva that come from inside, don't push it away. Take something and do certain mitzvot when you feel that moment. If I wasn't pay attention to this Elul tshuva that I have from the dream, I wouldn't do anything. I would say, okay, that's let's deny it, let's push it away, and it become cold because I was fire in that moment. So I took that fire and I did something.
Yeah.
I did actions. I started to play. I go to classes. I didn't let it go and push it away and continue with my life.
I love that. Like tapping into the moment when you finally have this wake up
And
call.
now it's a wake up call. Now
Yeah.
we feel the Melech Basadeh. We feel it so close,
Yeah.
and for sure anyone like can feel any Elul Tshuva when you go to Slichot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
to feel the tefillah, even to listen to music. I was listening to music, Hasidish music like that, and my
Neshama.
like Ochi La Lakel.
Oh, I love that song. Oh my, that makes me cry. Oh,
Song.
you know, that's
I was
gorgeous.
running in the beach and I was listening. That's what I was listening in my ear.
Oh,
You
this
were
is
religious?
before you're religious?
Yeah, like in the week that I was like
That transition.
2 weeks, the
Yeah,
tradition. I was listening to this music, and I was running on the beach.
Oh
like
my
I was like.
You weren't dressed even, probably. Oh.
No, and I started to cry, like this.
It's,
Oh, it's something I remember. I was doing like running. I was really into shape and gym and everything, and I was running on the beach, and I was wearing like a bra sports bra, and the tights, leggings, and I saw a family. It was probably the time for a beach, separate beach time. There's times, and the mom came out from her car with a few little kids and boys, very religious, like Hasidish.
Yeah.
They have like peot and everything, and the kids, and I was running next to him, and she saw me, and she's like, Imane, she started to cry, and she started to cover her son's eyes. So he's not gonna see me.
Oh my gosh.
I remember.
You felt so guilty.
I felt so bad.
Ay.
Like, what? happened to her? Like, why she's doing that?
Wow.
I couldn't understand that. Like, why she's covering their eyes? Like,
Did you realize it's
I-
because you weren't dressed? Obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
she said she
course.
felt guilty.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
wow.
felt so bad. I felt
Yeah,
so
I would
bad.
feel horrible. Oh my gosh.
I felt it was like there's a lot of women there that walking like that. It wasn't something, but Ashdod is very religious city, and there is like a lot of big community of like Hasidim.
Yeah, they even have a separate beach, right? They have
Yeah.
a separate beach. I remember. I
It's
went.
now it's become even more religious.
Wow.
And I felt so bad. Even now, I feel like,
Wow.
what I
That
did
poor
to
kid.
that boy. I felt so bad. But now I understand that, and sometimes I took it to my kids, not to show them.
Wow.
It's very hit me, and sometimes I really covering my son's eyes when it's like
Wow.
really extreme because of that moment. Like if she
Oh
did
my
that,
gosh.
maybe there is a big reason, and maybe it's like really affect. It was 4 or 5. I don't
You
know.
know
It
something
wasn't
like also
more
like,
than that.
as a teenager, I remember as a teen, like I never understood the meaning of sneas and why it was so important. It's so important, but not
Yeah.
because of necessarily like us, even though it is important for us personally, but the people also looking at us,
Mm-hmm.
little boys, anyone, it really affects them. It affects them.
So it's not
and
only about us; it's about other people around us. You're
Right.
saying that's what you're trying to say, like
Right.
like putting that on other.
And I
people.
want to tell you, as a Choseret B'Tshuva, if I could delete and release, like do delete of all these years, I would do it because it's ruined your neshama. Everything I've been through, it's go with me. Even when I'm more religious now,
You wouldn't
even
do it or
when
you wouldn't?
I wouldn't do it.
because it built you.
It's ruined you. I'm telling you, I Baruch Hashem, I really understand and happy that I'm here in LA and I'm so far from the place that I was because it was reminds me all these things every day. I wouldn't go to I can't go to the beach or the mall with my kids or even around it because it remind me the days that I was there or maybe Chas v'Shalom to see people from the past or I can't go with my husband to I remember we were dating and I was like I see like men that I was with them.
Yeah.
Who wants that when you're religious to be and see this in front of your eyes all the time?
Do you know that?
Or
there's
remember that. Even now I talk with my husband about something and it's remind me something from the past. I don't want that. I want to be clean.
A
I
clean
wish I
slate.
could be clean and not to have this flashing that coming to
There's actually a halacha that you cannot remind about Shuva about their past. You cannot say, "Oh, do you remember when you used to eat whatever pork?"
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You,
Did we do
did
that
you
now?
know that?
Yeah,
Like,
of course. And they told me a lot of things. Like I have a friend. Oh, you're not religious, but you don't remember what you did and this and that.
No,
Like,
wow.
oh yeah, of course.
like in a mocking way, not like in a
Yeah.
in
I get what you're
tribute.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I thought you meant like.
you don't miss those days. Like, wait. Wow. So to end off this podcast, I'm curious to know. I actually do know already, but for our listeners, Meirav is somebody who's always growing. Till today, I will not say the things that you took upon yourself because I feel like it's going to put all of us to shame. It's not fair to us. But like the things that you're taking on weekly, I don't know how often you're taking them. I don't know if I should say daily, but like you're taking on things all the time to improve and escalate your snoo to a whole new level. That is something that you're still in the process of. I look at you and I'm like, there's nothing left for you to do, right? Tikva?
And then you were telling us at a shir the other day that she's like, no, what do you mean?
Yeah.
There's this I could do and this. I'm like, what?
my sister, I just want to say, and then you're gonna answer us. My sister was with a Rebbitzin, and this like I think this story will stick with me for as long as I live because I feel like it was so wow that she did this. She said she was with this Rebbitzin who covers her hair in mitpachat, and she's very tsanua and black denier. I don't know what you call the highest level denier stockings, and she was very, 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 very tsanua. And she was walking into a place with her, and all of a sudden the Rebbitzin says to her, "Oh wait, before we walk in, let me just quickly do something as a." She said something like, "I want to quickly do my snoot, get like my her Kabbalah." And she takes off her little gold earrings and she puts it in her wallet. And my sister's like, "Are you joking? Like what? What?" And she's like, "This is my new Kabbalah. I'm gonna try every time I walk out of the house to take off my earrings." And I'm like, "Wow!" I can't. That's something that really stands. So tell us how your journey is today.
So today I'm trying. today I'm trying to improve where to get dressed. To get dressed only in the shower, and that's a kabbalah that I took to be more focused on this Elul. There's a lot of to prove in a tzniut. Always.
Right. It's never too, like, you're never there.
No, it's never there. We're never there. Because even if the regular thing, I can have the nisayon just coming to me. You know, if it's the skirt can be the dress, maybe after few dryer, it's become shorter.
Right.
For me. So then the nisayon coming.
Or even when we're pregnant, the shorts get, the shorts
So then the nisayon coming, you're gonna wear it or not.
Right.
Sometimes I can wear it, sometimes not.
Right.
You know, it's a fighting. It's all the time. The fighting is never ends.
Right.
Never ends.
Right. We wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. We learned so much from you. I personally have, like, every time, it's a personal thing, but every time I put on stockings, I think of you.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm like, I really, like, if you're doing it, like, I grew up from, like, my whole life.
Wait, tikva knee highs or stockings? Which one? I'm picking on you.
My husband hates when I wear those granny knee highs.
Sorry, continue.
No, but seriously, like, I personally, like, have learned so much from you, and I feel like we all can.
Yeah, you're a true inspiration. We
you.
really appreciate you joining our podcast today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everyone for listening, and we hope to bring more stories soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to our Mommy Life Squad podcast.
And stay tuned for the next episode.